girls, soupies of all ages. Welcome to the KFHC Wrestling Podcast. I am the intern, and somehow I almost briefly forgot phone injury because it's that kind of day. I'm joined by GRJ. Habes is off on assignment or has COVID. I don't know which. How's it going?
Pretty good. Habe's not here, so it's obviously left up to both of us. But from what we were talking about, it doesn't feel like we have much to talk about. I couldn't find any news.
That's good. We have to talk about. We have for those of you that don't check the page frequently. Don't look for my SmackDown review on Friday. It will not be there ever again. I have moved Tuesdays into the Impact Zone.
We're an Impact page now.
Yeah.
I'm down with it.
I'm pretty good with that. I'm liking the product they put out.
Yeah.
But yeah, there hasn't been a ton of crazy news that jumps out at us, but so let's just talk about the shit we do know. Now, the first one that really jumped out to me is if you watched AEW this week, Dynamite this week, you notice a distinct lack of. I'm sure that made Cornette happy, seeing how he hates Excalibur, but man. There's been no reason for his absence mentioned, but it's no coincidence, I'm sure, that footage of him from back in 2006, repeatedly dropping the N-word in a promo came up.
Yeah, first of all, that's bad in general, but then 2006, right? People were, I don't want to say more open, but a lot of people did not give a shit about what they said, and the culture, the world wasn't at that point of like striking down every bad thing, right? Obviously, It's still the N-word. We say N-word because of how bad it is, but you found something out about the promo or about that video.
I'm just so I can see the guy's name, since that wants to load. But yeah, you know what words I'm not willing to say it. Just saying.
Yeah.
Oh, the human tornado was the wrestler who.
Dude, I love him.
Cut a promo against, and apparently the whole reason that the N-word got dropped was that he would ask people wrestling against him to do racially charged promos and use that word towards them. Kevin Owens was also part of video footage that came up with him using the N-word, and apparently Human Tornado practically had to beg him to convince him to do it. So
did Human Tornado recently come out saying that that's true?
He was talking about it on Twitter.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that if it's coming from Tornado himself, then like it doesn't make it any less bad, but it's kind of like there's a reason why these two guys said it.
Yeah, exactly. Now there's a whole bunch of racists that are going to try to find people of color friends to give them permission to use that word.
I mean, some people already just use that whole "I have a black friend" excuse.
Yeah, I grew up using that word, brother.
Yeah.
Happen with Excalibur, maybe he'll have to go to sensitivity training like Sammy Guevara.
Yeah, he returned. What was it, last week?
Last week, yep.
A lot of people were not happy with him returning so soon.
Yeah, it's almost like he should have taken more time to complete sensitive specific. I don't fuck. People are stupid.
My thing is like, I feel like there's no real timetable for how long you should be in sensitivity training, or what did they call it? I forgot what term Impact used, or not Impact, AEW used for him going away, but I feel like there's no real time limit of how long it would take somebody to learn not to say that words. It's kind of like
Yeah.
you see what happened. This is why you don't say it, right? But
Yeah.
I feel like this could have he could have he could have like been out for months and people would still be unhappy if he came back like 6 months later. So
Yep.
it's a lose-lose situation on his act. They're moving forward with it, and people, some people are still upset. Like I said, some people are have moved on from it. So
Yeah, I personally moved on the moment he actually talked to Sasha her personally.
yeah, but even Sasha came out saying that like yeah, he came out, he apologized, I forgave him, but this is so much bigger than me, and she was right. You know.
Yeah.
What else we got? I have
Yeah,
something.
that's true.
I have
Well, then she's a
thing
heel, so we're not supposed to care.
for who? For Sasha?
Yeah, I was
Oh, okay.
being silly.
Okay. I have here in front of me Hiromu Takahashi is missing. He's gonna miss action with a shoulder injury. It doesn't say how long.
That's right. I forgot about that. I was hoping I dreamt that and that it wasn't actually true. That poor guy misses way too much time.
I mean, the last one was it was a thing, right? He was
Yeah.
out because of his neck. That makes sense.
Yeah.
This one, his shoulder, it's not that long. He is expected to return in time for his title defense against Taiji Ishimori on August 29th. Honestly,
Okay, well,
I could totally see Taiji Ishimori winning this no matter what.
yeah.
So there's that.
Or for the UE, they shoulder for shoulder match where you can only win by breaking your opponent's shoulder. I don't know. That company's stupid.
Yep. That's
Speaking of how stupid that company is, so we have SummerSlam coming up August 23rd, right?
yes.
The website WrestleVotes is claiming, now take that for a grain of salt, I don't know how trustworthy they are.
Oh, he died.
They're claiming that the WWE's next pay-per-view after...
Intern?
Am I here?
I don't know. Hello?
Okay.
Yeah,
Hello?
you're back. You're good.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Technology. But yeah, so 1 week after SummerSlam, WrestleVotes is claiming that the WWE will be holding their next pay-per-view, Payback. God, I hope they are wrong.
Is this a WWE pay per view? I mean, like Raw SmackDown pay per view, or is this like NXT doing their own shit again?
No, this is like another main roster show, as far as I know.
I mean, fuck, that's two different predictions games. Do you want to do that? I don't think I want to do that.
No, I don't think. I don't see a point in doing a predictions game for a pay-per-view that will have 1 week of build.
I mean, I feel like the rest of the shows only have 1 hour of builds. Or fucking as the wrestlers going, like stepping outside, Vince is like scribbling down, like, this is what you're gonna do as you walk out. Go.
Basically.
Yeah. What else? Kairi Sane is done with WWE.
Yep, and what a way she got to leave the company, costing Asuka the women's title by countout.
I think it was kind of stupid that it was just kind of like a regular beatdown.
Yeah.
Like at that point, it's kind of like, she's getting beat down. It's fine, But if it was like something dangerous, like she had to go out there to save her life, then yeah, I get that. But Sasha winning the title like that kind of put a fucking bad
It wasn't quite wrong. John Cena to bring to the effect by threatening to break Edge's neck with a curb stomp. That would have justified adding to stop wrestling the match. Just a regular beatdown. Maybe if Nia Jax was involved.
That would have worked better, yeah.
Yeah, I mean Nia did return this week.
Oh, well.
and is probably feuding with Shayna Baszler now.
Well, at least they're using Baszler. That's my thing.
Yeah,
That's what I was
yeah,
excited
and
about.
at least they're putting.
No, Robert Stein. Intern Stein. My bad.
Oh, this is so fucking stupid.
Right? Yeah, it's really bad.
My connection is WWE tonight.
Pretty much. Let's see what we got.
Probably should have talked about this when I mentioned Excalibur and AEW, but we had two new debuts AEW tonight this week. Remember, Zyder Madonna showed up to save Cody's ass because Cody doesn't have other friends that he's in a group with or anything.
Right.
And the second, yeah. Well, Cody's been a terrible friend. Look at how many times his elite buddies have been involved in beatdowns, and he never shows up to do anything with them. He doesn't interact with them. He is the dirt worst as a character.
I think at this point, you should get rid of the whole elite group thing because you're right. You know, a lot of these guys they're doing their own separate thing, and like if you're gonna keep it on YouTube, that's cool, but keep it out of your show because sometimes it makes like no sense.
Of sense. The women's tag tournament is apparently going to be teams decided at random, lethal lottery, and we found out that his partner is debuting Ariana, aka the artist formerly known as Cameron.
I don't know. That's another weird one. Did she even wrestle?
She I don't know if I want to call what she did wrestle, but she did work match. I specifically remember her trying to pin an opponent while they were laying on their belly.
I mean, I just remember her being one of the dancers. Funkadactyl, yeah. That's right. I remember that. But then again, so was Naomi, and look at how she turned out. So
yeah.
So maybe there's something that WWE held back from Cameron, and maybe she's gonna unleash it at AEW.
Remember, also the one that went on to might have been there, but she was talking to Austin, and when he asked her what her favorite wrestling match was, she said Melina versus Alicia Fox.
I mean, if you have standards that low, you're gonna be impressed by everything.
Yeah. I hope she has improved since then, but I doubt it.
Yeah. What else happened? We're professional as hell, you guys. So
yeah, we prepared for this for hours.
Hours and hours and hours. I guess we could just talk Impact because that's something that we both know about.
Yeah, definitely. So as I alluded to at the top, I'm now an Impact reviewer. I watched my first full episode of Impact TV in a long while this week, and I enjoyed it a lot.
Right? It was good.
Mostly really good. Now, before we get into the particulars, that I think really impressed me was this is the first.
Jesus.
The NWA. Like if you look at the in-ring action, there were things that we take for granted or / don't see at all in 2020. There were lockups, there were working punches, people sold shit, there was psychology. It was pro wrestling.
Yeah. That's really
It also happened to have some really hokey sports entertainment stuff that thankfully Impact mostly does better.
But it was limited, right?
Yeah.
It was limited. It wasn't the whole show.
Exactly.
It wasn't a bunch of fucking hokey shit after hokey shit after hokey shit. Like first thing that they started off was the title match, right?
Eddie Edwards versus Trey Miguel.
Yeah, Eddie Edwards came out saying that he wants to be a fighting champ, and his first opponent was Trey Miguel from
the Rascals.
I want to say the Treehouse. Why did I want to say the Treehouse?
I mean, they probably get high in a treehouse.
I think that's where they're
Yeah, they're announced from. I think.
announced from, right? That makes sense to me. But
Yeah,
yeah, you see how open they are about the whole weed thing and Impact. Like they have
I know they didn't
420
even
on
try to
their.
hide.
They don't hide it, and obviously, like it makes sense because like you have the Rascals doing that shit, and then you have RVD on it. Like you can't hide that.
I think any company that hires RVD explicitly says they support weed.
Right? But then again, freaking WWE hired Matt Riddle, and he's very
Yeah,
open
that's
about
true
that shit
too,
too. Anyways,
bro.
what's his name? Eddie Edwards versus versus Miguel. I thought this was a fun match. Um,
Yeah, this is my favorite match on the show. So
yeah, it was really good. I don't know if I like that it opened the show. But it was a good match. I
yeah,
liked
I,
it.
I I would normally complain about it in opening the show, but I think I was too happy that the show opened with a match and not
Not a 30.
talking.
Yeah, right. Not a fucking 30-minute promo in the ring.
Yeah, promo parade where like between 4 and 8,000 people show up and interrupt each other. But it was just a very standard face versus face match until they started throwing punches. Then it got heated. I never felt like Eddie was ever in danger of losing, but they still managed to make Trey look like he could win. He was able to take Eddie's punishment and give it right back.
Yeah, like I felt the same way. I did not see Trey Miguel winning this at all. But if they're going to continue with Eddie Edwards doing an open challenge weekly, this
Yeah,
I feel like this is setting up for a short reign. Um, and I'd be okay with that, especially if they give Eric Young a chance. If they once they bring him back EC3, if they give him a chance, have Eddie Edwards go over the new talent you're bringing in, and then have him lose it to somebody that like could put eyes on your show, right? Because I felt this way. What match was it later in the thing? Give me a second. I'm scrolling through your thing.
was it the Deonna Purrazzo match?
No. I had a specific thought on one of the. Who was it? Kimberly also. She not bad. Um, give me a second. I think it was the last match. Who was it? No, it wasn't. It wasn't Reno Scum versus the Good Brothers.
The Good Brothers.
Ooh,
It must have been It must have been Deonna versus Kimberly then, because the other two matches were just Russell House things.
Oh damn! I think you're right. Well, then I don't remember what match it was, but it was one of those things where like you're building up your newer stars, right?
Yeah,
And you're mixing them and mixing them in perfectly with your older stars. You know,
yeah,
like you had your Eddie Edwards against Trey. Perfect combination, right?
yeah.
Obviously, you don't want Eddie Edwards completely dominating every match over your newer guys, but that's how you start it up. That's how you build your eyes on your newer guys.
But yet at the same time, they didn't do like what AEW Cody where it takes long for him to beat these newer people. Was a really good length. It made Eddie Edwards look dominating, but not completely like he overmatched. It doesn't make it look like he's going to be in trouble the first time he faces anyone at a higher tier.
Yeah.
At this point, too, is looking like Eric Young is going to be his first real challenge based on the post match stare down.
Yeah, like and that makes sense, right? Like,
Yeah,
we're gonna have EY on TV against Eddie Edwards. People that have never watched it are gonna be like, "Holy shit, that's EY. That's Eric Young." You know, Insanity. Fucking, he went to WWE. He's back in
yeah,
TN. He's back in Impact. Like people are gonna like connect that, and then they're gonna see what EY could actually do. You know, we saw what he did, what he could do in NXT. He got thrown up into the main roster, and they kind of fumbled his ass. But this is the second chance, just like EC3, his promos that he's throwing out, fucking amazing.
Comedic chop. These are really good, serious promos. He is really good at being this intense guy, this intense dude who seems to be like what he wants to, for whatever reason, just past and reinvent himself.
Yeah, like in the promo, he said, "I did this, I did that, I did this. I beat this person. Who did he beat? He beat Kurt Angle. He beat
Which I had noted, but
yeah, I don't remember. He beat these guys up for the championship, and he's like, who cares? Like that's the
yeah,
past, you know. Like he's really looking towards the future, and it works out great.
yeah. Also, how does it that change reviewing a different company to be able to see EC3 Eric Young on my TV?
Yeah, it's great, you know.
I've seen them this year that I. Funny is it that we now thirds of over on
Damn.
the Madman Fulton there, which I complained about when I was before I started watching.
Oh, that's right, because he was the original member, right?
Yeah, he was the original one before he got released and replaced by Killian Dane.
But I think it was because he got injured, right?
Yeah, I believe he got injured and it was just sidetracked for so long.
Well, they brought in
replaced him, and then he never came back.
Yeah, which sucks, but he looks great, you know.
Yeah,
Especially right now, he's going against the Good Brothers with Ace Austin. Good stuff.
Who really needs to bring his Gambit look back.
If you say so, man. I'm not. I'm not about that.
I don't know. I thought it was cooler than his current look, where I feel he almost looks like a or general bootleg version of Switchblade Jay White with his edgelord hair.
Huh. That's really good.
Yeah.
That's really good. I did not put that together. Yeah, he does look like freaking. You broke up completely 100%.
So what does he matter?
You broke up completely 100. I didn't hear anything. But yeah, he looks like a Hot Topic Jay White. Like, he saw Jay White on New Japan, went to Hot Topic, and kind of like reinvented himself there. Yeah, that's really good. I like that.
I hope he calls himself Jackknife Ace Austin.
I don't know, man. They were really open about talking about New Japan. I feel Impact is feeling that merger a lot, especially since they're pushing the Good Brothers. When Motor City they had a little promo video for Motor City Machine Guns. They brought up New Japan a lot, so I feel like Impact's feeling that relationship being fixed from when the guys from TNA messed up with Okada, but
yep.
Yeah, and I'll be completely honest. I'll be super excited if New Japan has some wrestlers there, and if Impact sends some wrestlers out to.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
It'd be great, yeah, because you could totally tell that these promotions mix well together, especially how they showcase the wrestling, how they showcase like the people talking and everything.
Yeah, that's another thought I had about Impact watching. AEW likes to tout itself up as this real sports presentation. I find that Impact does that like 10 times better than AEW with the way Josh Matthews and Madison Rain present the show.
Okay, so yeah, I think we were talking about this last week about how they kind of bugged me a little bit. This week, I don't know if I like them better or if they just did better. But yeah, I'm kind of like, I could fuck with this. I could work with these guys.
Yeah, I mean, I would still rather have Don Callis there personally, but
yeah, but at that point, who do you take out? Because Madison Rain is not bad. Josh Matthews.
No, she isn't.
Josh Matthews obviously knows how to talk, and I think it's just how his history in the industry portrays him as like some people just don't like him for that for that reason, because of how he got into the industry, how he continued throughout it.
Yeah. Not to
But
mention, there's probably people like myself that mostly just remember him for when he was playing heel.
exactly, yeah, like when he was doing all that shit, and he was borderline annoying. Like that's where it got pretty bad. So, but I think I'm gonna keep going with. Well, obviously, we have to keep going with them being the commentators because that's who Impact
Yeah.
has. But let's hope it gets better. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, after the match, like I said, Eric Young came out, go down, but then was like, no, we'll do this in my time. Walks away. We'll see that matchup at a later time. And that brings me to my favorite thing on the show that took up many segments, Wrestle House. Oh my god! The only complaint I have about this is that I don't want this on Impact Free TV. I want this as its own hour-long show on Impact Plus.
I mean,
It's so funny.
it's so good. It's good, right? They're obviously they have their little cheesy moments or moments kind of like really,
Yeah.
but overall it was great. And then they mix in actual wrestling with it.
Yeah.
Like Tommy Dreamer popping out, it's match time, and I'm kind of
Match
like,
time!
yeah, I'm like that's so good.
Oh man, yeah. Basically, if you didn't watch it, it's like a picture of the real world, only with wrestlers in their full characters and Tommy Dreamer as the host.
Yeah. That I forgot who he was on the bed with, but
Oh, the Dieters.
yeah, the Dieters. There was one on the ground. There was one on the ground. There was one on the bed, and
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, okay, there's somebody in the bed with him. Because at first I'm like, why is he sleeping on the ground? It's a fucking full size bed, and then I'm like, wait, like there's somebody there. And then when Tommy popped out, I'm like, this is too good.
Yep, I popped. I lost my shit. So good. But yeah, what's the character? Got a completely forgot that character became weird, a happy Asian chick. We get Johnny Swinger, who I can't believe I'm enjoying in 2020. Him as this weird, creepy guy's been awesome. Alicia Edwards, Edwards' wife. Crazy Cody and Jake Diener. Kylie Ray, who's been awesome. Larry D, I had no idea who that guy was. Ace Romero, who I freaking love. John E. Bravo, and then Taya. That's one hell of a cast of characters I didn't know it.
I think it was Taya, the one that was yelling at Kylie Ray of being a horrible ref. I don't know if it was her, but I thought it was so good when Kylie.
She only checked the sleeper.
Yeah, like no, it was Kylie. She checked it once, right? She like lifted the arm, it went down, and then she rung the bell. She asked for the bell, and then I think it was Taya. I'm pretty sure it was her.
Yeah,
She's like, so. You checked it once. You're a horrible ref. It was so good.
I think so. That was yes, sir. This reality show has wrestling match. The first one happened. Ace Romero. Steve found a wrestling ring at the same time. Got to fight a match over who gets to use it as a
bed, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I freaking love Crazy Steve doing them doing the crisscross. Just because
Jesus, intern, you're breaking up really bad. Yeah, sorry about that, you guys. Internet problem, civic technology.
It's because Habs isn't here.
Probably, I don't know. What else happened? There was the No Way Jose, and then Tommy Dreamer popping out saying, "No, we didn't sign it."
That was so good. Multiple shots taken at Paul Heyman.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
I guess the Good Brothers must have wrote this.
I wonder how much they're involved now. I'm pretty sure like that had to be like thrown into the contracts to be involved in some type of like decision making. Not all of it.
Yeah.
Not like Hulk Hogan, I'm not gonna put this guy over type deal, but more like a,
Oh God.
hey, do you guys have any
What for me,
ideas?
brother?
Yeah, like, do you guys have any ideas for me? And then they just kind of throw out it out.
Yeah. And then later on, I'll skip ahead here with our other Wrestle House segment. We had mentioned the Deaners, their bedroom. They got into an argument. Tommy Dreamer made a match between them made it a loser leaves the room match, which again was more of a comedy match. But holy crap, those two still worked it really well. Like when they were hitting each other, they were really stiff. Very believable brawling. I don't remember when I had first seen the Deaners. It was on a Twitch network special, though. I don't remember an Impact special or a different or Sammy's promotion. But man, I forgot how much I actually liked them as workers and their character. But yeah, cousin beating Cody, but Cody gets the last laugh as he finds an RV and decides to use that as his bedroom.
Oh, that's right. He's like, this would do, and it's a whole RV. And I'm like, I feel like you got the better option out of this.
Yep. So yeah, I look forward to seeing where this goes in the future. And yeah, once we go back to the show properly, we get a little fun bit. Rohit Raju are they still a thing? If you remember
The what?
the Desi Hit Squad, the Hindu group that Rohit was part of, or Raju was part of.
I don't know what's going on with them.
Yeah, that's what I wasn't sure.
Hopefully, we get an update on them soon. But yeah, he's popped out 2 weeks in a row by himself.
Yeah, it's kind of fun, and it's kind of fun here. He's trying to play TJP and each other, and convincing TJP to them to consider taking an X Division match, and then going at the band. Oh, dude, he totally wants to beat you up.
Yeah. So yeah. What else?
They'll all match.
I didn't know Gia Miller was Ace Austin's real life boyfriend or girlfriend.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either until until Tuesday. But yeah, he promised to have a closer look at the Good Brothers main event match, and we'll see how that plays out afterwards. I've got some thoughts on that, and they're very positive.
Mm-hmm.
Mentioned it during my review. I didn't really notice it at the time, but I love that when they were showing the vignette, first vignette, a lot of it was footage of them beating the shit of the Young Bucks from the Bucks time in TNA.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Impact is really good with their past video packages or the packages showing the past. Like they talk up AJ Styles, they talk up everybody that worked in TNA, and they're not afraid to show a clip from back in the day, and I love that shit. I love it so much. It's so good.
That's fantastic. Even like I was looking at Impact. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I remember what match it was. It was the match of Motor City against Beer Money. They showed the clip from back then.
Yes, that's right.
Like it's one of those things. Like if you have like a new like somebody's watching it, right? You see Motor City Machine Guns. Cool, they're the champs, whatever. And then you go back to an older video, and then you see Robert Roode, and you're like, "Holy shit!" Robert Roode was in Impact or TNA. You know, I thought that was pretty cool. I think if they continue to do that, with the right editing, because I kind of felt like they didn't have to show a full 5 minutes of the last of that match. Like if they could have just clipped it together like to a 2 to 3 minute video, it would have been great.
Yeah,
but having like
I'll say this much though, I didn't fast forward it because I'm like, man, I love this match. I gotta watch this.
Yeah, it was great, and honestly, like I completely forgot. Like I knew Motor City was gonna win it at the end, but I did not remember how they won it.
Yeah, I forgot about the weird the about Hebner having to restart the match.
Yeah. Oh my god, and that was like you could see like the decision was smart, right?
Yeah,
They're not being stupid. Like it was both Hebners, and they're like, okay, we don't have a winner, so we're restarting this shit. How many times as a fan have you felt that? Like that's what you want, right? If somebody gets screwed over,
no.
oh, go ahead.
No. Apparently, what we want is for nothing to get done, get nothing to get settled on the show, and then for Stephanie McMahon via Titantron next week to let Sasha keep the title and book a rematch.
I'm so dumb. So dumb. Oh shoot, I'm stepping on Lego. I feel it. Oh, son of a bitch. Okay, I'm sorry. So yeah, that was the match I was talking about. It was funny because it was one of those things where I'm like, shit, Motor City, and then I'm like, holy crap, Robert Roode, like, nice. And once again, it goes back to the whole thing of them not being afraid of showing people that are in WWE, you know. And it's smart.
I think that's awesome.
It's smart.
Yeah.
You know. What happens next? Oh, the North. That little promo that they did was I thought was great.
So weird. I loved it. It was so weird seeing Josh Alexander doing the talking, but it was also great seeing Paige being so distraught he couldn't say anything.
He was so broken. Like it was so good. I thought they both played it pretty well.
I did too. It's good. It's good to see that Alexander can actually talk. He's not a bad promo.
Yeah. What happened next? RVD and Katie Forbes.
The only thing on the show I did not fucking like at all.
Could we just move on and not talk about it?
Yeah, basically, let's just purge that from our memory. Like, I want to purge anything involving those two.
Perfect.
So we'll skip that. Well, hold on. Here's my review for those watching video. I'm giving 2 middle fingers for those not watching on video. Now let's move on.
Like, we want to move on, obviously. Like, I feel like they had such different energy levels that I think that's what bugged me the most, you know? Like, it feels like Katie Forbes is up the fuck all the way up here, and RVD is he's so stoned he doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah. He has the same low enthusiasm for everything he says as I do when I check my mailbox and see junk mail.
Yeah, like, dude, match your girl's energy for this promo. But he's kind of like, yeah, okay.
Like Katie's showing him all these hot pictures of her barely wearing any clothing, and he's just like, oh, yeah, hey, are you even going to be able to show that one?
Yeah, like, come on, dude. Put some energy into it. Like, match your wife or girlfriend, I don't remember. But yeah, like, yeah, that's all I gotta say. Let's move on.
Yeah, because then we get EC3 promo that we had talked about earlier, so we already talked. Fuck that. I am all in on this version of EC3 and I really can't wait for him to start doing more things. I guess I can't say I'm waiting for him to do things because he did attack Moose last week.
Oh, have we got into? Oh, that's up next. I just saw where that's up next. Yeah, this EC3 thing, very very well put together. If I want to know if this is his own, like this is just himself, or if this is Impact and people helping him, because even before his whole thing of coming to Impact was a thing, he was releasing shit like this. He was releasing this for a while. Like, he was releasing this to the where Rockstar Spud, what's his WWE name? Drake Maverick. He brought in Rockstar Spud, Drake Maverick, to do a video with him, and then Drake Maverick got re-signed. Because I remember that video was like, you call him, or his name is Spud. And I'm kind of like, dude, this is really good. This is getting me hyped for these two. And then Drake Maverick resigned and EC3 was back on his own. But yeah, I want to know if he's doing this by himself or somebody's helping him. If he's doing it by himself, good fucking shit. If whoever's helping, if there's somebody helping him, still good fucking shit. Like it's
Yeah.
really, really good.
He's a creative guy, so I can see him doing at least most of this by himself.
Yeah, I don't know. Like WWE picked up so many of the good Impact guys, but I kind of feel like they picked them up just to pick them up. You know, and then they did nothing with him, EC3 included. Now he's back, and that's more eyes on Impact, right? Especially if he could,
Yeah.
if he does well. If he does well, like this could be like a whole new ceiling for them. Oh, shit.
What was fun is Gia got to interview Moose. Oh man, I love Moose. This deluded celebrity type holding a Belgian belt, and issuing an open challenge. But then when the topic of EC3 comes up, saying no, I'm not giving EC. So fun, and I got to say as a sidetrack, and with EC3's whole mission statement of I want to destroy my, having him gun for the TNA title specifically before he gets into the Impact title scene is kind of brilliant when you consider that's what he started with, the title before it was Impact.
Yeah,
it's the first step. The first step, retreading roads he already traveled to rewrite his history. That is fucking brilliant. I wish I had thought of that point when I was writing my review.
But yeah, Heath came out. He pretty much tricked.
It's like, yeah.
It was well done.
I got a contract.
Yeah, it was well done though. Like he did this whole thing of like, oh, so there's no championship committee for the TNA belt, and then he kind of like suckered Moose into the match. Do I see Heath winning this? Hell no. But
no, this is it's basically a retread of his WWE story when he didn't get drafted to either brand, and then had to fight Rhino for contract and lost, and also lost to Brock Lesnar. But I don't care. I'm loving it. Plus, it got Scott D'Amore on my TV again because he came kind of up and said, "Hey, you beat Moose. We'll talk contract."
It took me like maybe 8 seconds to realize that was Scott D'Amore. The hair going like that is so, like not saying anything about Scott D'Amore. It's just from the last time I really paid attention to him, it was so different to me. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah. I'll tell you what was even weirder is I remember it was an older, I think it was a Nitro, and I think it was against the Big Show, but there was one of those shows in the 90s did a handicap match, and one other side of the ring was Scott D'Amore wrestling a wrestling match.
That was a while ago. Yeah.
Followed that up with Kimberly taking on Deonna Purrazzo in a non-title match. I really enjoyed this one too. It actually told a story, which is refreshing to see in 2020.
It told a story. They also Purrazzo, she worked the arm of Lee, and Lee sold it throughout the match up until the ending, and that's something rare. That is something we don't get in WWE.
Not only that, the arm work paid off. It looked like she would have had Purrazzo beaten with that German suplex, but she couldn't hold on to it because of the arm damage. I love this if they're going to keep giving this.
Yeah.
I've heard Don Callis on podcasts. He's a pretty old school guy. He believes in the importance of characters and selling in your wrestling. So I could definitely see a lot of Callis's influence if that's the case.
Yeah, the great match. I've loved Kimberly ever since she was Princess Kimberly in Chikara. One thing I want to do bring up is during this fight, on the announce table, they were talking. Oh, first of all, do we know if the announce table, Josh Matthews and Madison Rain, are they live or are they recorded after?
I'm actually not sure, to be honest.
Because I remember, like, back in the day, people would make fun of Taz because he'd be like, "Oh, he'd say something about commentary," and they'd be like, "Dude, shut up! Like, you guys go back in and edit your commentary after."
Yeah,
So I don't know if they're still doing that or if it's live. But anyways, they kept bringing up the tag team championships for the women, and Madison Rain
yeah,
like was impressed by Kimberly.
yeah.
If that happens, if that tag happens, I want Princess Kimberly back. You
That
know,
would be so good.
especially when Madison Rain wants to be the queen and all that shit. Perfect.
Yeah,
You have your queen, you have your
I'd be.
princess. Give them the title. I'm happy.
I never even thought of that, but I am all about that.
Dude, I remember watching that. Like, I watched Impact today. I kept pushing it off. I don't know why. I was so stupid. But I kept pushing it off. And when I got to that match and Madison Rain was talking about, she's like, yeah, like, I could be looking at my new partner if they bring back the titles. I'm like, please bring back those tag team titles. Like, if they bring it back, they know this woman division has been stacked with talent.
Yeah,
Like, they could do it really well, and Impact is one of those companies that's not afraid to go to outside sources to bring in for a night.
exactly.
So it works. I'm excited for this. Great match, Perazzo versus Kimberly. Yeah.
And then we had this simple but effective angle sling. Then, it's not actually broken. And she's out of the sling and jumps Perazzo and just beats the piss out of her.
This is where I wish they played it off a little bit better, right? Gracie comes out with a little sling, and I kind of wish Perazzo would have talked so much crap to her, like, "Oh, your hand's broken, your hand's broken," and then once Gracie took that thing off her arm, that's when Perazzo's like, "Okay, like, look, like, let's relax." I wish they played it off like that.
Yeah, maybe even have her talk, turn her back while she walk away and turn she's talking and then see the arm out of the sling.
Yeah, and then like, and then like stuff like that. Like at that point, you didn't have to have Gracie beat up Perazzo, but it made sense, right? Like, I think it would have been better if it was one of those things where like Perazzo like okay, calm down, and then like slid out of the ring, then turned her back, and then that's when Gracie like comes and attacks her outside the ring, throws back in, does a little damage. But yeah, I wish they could have done that a little better. Still pretty good. Um, This Gracie has her rematch clause, right? That's still a thing in Impact.
She should. Because I remember the rematch clause was mentioned by Josh of the North. So I guess she technically has hers.
I mean, it depends on the contract, right?
Yeah, that's true. Then there's we got the vignette for Brian Myers, the former Kurt Hawkins, who not much there. There's just a lot of a weird voice saying be a professional and trust the process over. But he did look pretty awesome in that mask, I gotta say.
Dude, I uploaded a picture of Kurt Hawkins, now Brian Myers, about a week ago with him in his mask, and nobody knew with it. I think we talked about this last week, actually. Now that I remember,
right.
so I won't get that deep into it, but it's like one of those things like, I don't think the mask is helping you, dude. Like,
nah.
Like if you came out as Kurt Hawkins, that would have worked, right? Because it's Kurt Hawkins. People know that name. But Brian Myers,
that weird cane that he always used to carry.
Yeah. So it's one of like he's getting work or he's getting promos, great. But people still don't know who you are, bro. Like take off the mask, show up or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Stage I won't get into what happens afterwards because it again involves RVD and Katie Forbes. I don't want to talk about them, but Sammy runs into Ken Shamrock, and I don't think Shamrock used Uncle here. Or Sammy's just like, "Hey, what happened to Slammiversary?" And he's just like, my head's not right. I can't think straight. I'm gonna leave. I don't know when I'll be back. Bye.
What are they doing with this? Like, is this gonna be like a match between Sammy and Shamrock?
I feel like they're building again those shitty RVD Inform segments, like they're building to Sammy. So I don't know.
Dude, I think I'd rather see Sammy versus Shamrock.
I would be all the fuck over.
Because you have like Sammy Callahan, right? He's like one of the like crazier motherfuckers out there that still does shit. And then you have Ken Shamrock, who, like we said last week, could still use the moniker of World's Dangerous Man.
Yeah.
That's a great match.
Be afraid of him.
Oh hell yeah! Oh hell yeah! I see Ken Shamrock walking. If he's pissed, I'm walking away.
Whereas RVD just strikes me as being a complete shell of his former self.
Yeah, that's a big one. Yeah.
That or a manatee cosplaying as RVD. I haven't figured out which.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So what else? We talked about the Wrestle House segments. We talked about the Deaners.
Yep. Oh yeah, there was that little between Wentz from the Rascals where they got high and had someone in a suicide costume show comedy, but I laughed.
I don't think I saw that.
It's kind of funny when Wentz said he got a Power Ranger because he apparently thinks that suicide is a Power Ranger.
Dude, where was that at?
That was right after that stupid RVD Katie ring with Photoshop joke. I'm gonna poke my eyes out.
Oh, dude, I don't remember that shit at all.
And it was right before that Rich Swann interview.
I did skip through the Rich Swann interview. I'm not gonna lie.
It was short. It was actually pretty good. I mean, he was not much. There wasn't much to it. It was just basically saying that he's mad at Eric Young for going a little too far and I guess possibly putting him back on the shelf at Slammiversary. But like every had with Rich Swann, the WWE was his whole he likes to have fun gimmick and the goofy facial expression. So it was really cool seeing him actually as a serious performer here. But he really didn't have much to say besides, well, I'm supposed to talk about what's going to happen or what's happening with me, but I don't feel like about it, so I'll show up to talk about it live next week.
Okay, so I guess I went through the Rascal stuff and then the Rich Swann stuff because then after that it's Reno Scum and the Good Brothers. Yeah. One thing I do remember about this is I'm not impressed by the Good Brothers entrance music. I feel like it could have been better. But
Impact is very strong with entrance musics.
I know, and as long as it gets done in the ring, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I
forgot about Reno Scum, to be honest, too. I hadn't seen them in so long.
I remember... I think it was like the first month that they were at Impact. And I saw these two guys and I'm like, I like it, but I also don't. And I was really 50-50 about them. When I watched the episode today and I saw them come out and I'm all like, I like you guys, but I don't.
Yeah.
But that whole, I don't, they go through the match, whatever, right? And then after Ace Austin comes out. Are Reno Scum part of that little crew now? Because I would love that. I think that would work.
It seems to be on last week's show, which I didn't watch, but I got to see this on the recap video at the beginning of the show, which I forgot to talk about. Starting the show with a previously on Impact recap vignette. Mwah! Fucking brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
But but basically, it sounds like Austin referred to Reno Scum as their friends. So I don't know if they're officially part of the group, but they're at least loosely aligned and are being used as mercenaries that take on the Good Brothers.
Hey, if they could get those two, those four together, because you got to throw in
Madman Fulton.
Madman Fulton. Like if you could throw those four
Yeah.
together, it could work. It could really work.
I think so. They have a very similar aesthetic. They fit in really well. Together,
Yeah.
I think.
So I don't know. I like it.
Speaking of Ace Austin, though, him coming out and or causing the distraction, can I just say that it's so refreshing to see executed the way Impact did it? If you notice, there wasn't loud entrance music playing to signify that Ace Austin was showing up. And stop wrestling to turn around and go for 10 seconds until he got rolled up. It was just it came off so natural. Austin came out, turned around just for a brief time, and then turned back. But unfortunately, by then, Reno Scum had recovered and double teamed him. It was perfect. It was brilliant. It was simple but brilliant.
It was good. It was. They weren't. Well, first of all, I don't feel insulted by Impact.
Yeah.
But I feel like even the wrestlers weren't insulted, right? You don't have to play dumb. You don't, like you said, they didn't have to hear the music, ignore it, have somebody run down, and then secretly attack them. It's kind of like,
yeah, that or they didn't have the baby face stop wrestling the wrestling match he's wrestling so he can turn around and stare for 30 seconds.
mm-hmm. Oh, dude, we could have talked about that. What is that? The freaking pay-per-view that they have coming up this Saturday.
Oh, talking hashtag worst pay-per-view ever. That's the Good Brothers' own hashtag.
Do they have matches announced for that?
Just a match between Chad Too Bad and Sex Ferguson.
Is that all they have?
That's all I saw, unless they've updated recently.
Hold on, we're checking this out, you guys. Because we're professionals. Talking Shopomania. Nothing. Talk. I mean, it has Rocky Romero. Like,
yeah.
I feel Rocky is, and this goes back to talking about New Japan. I feel like Rocky is that bridge between America and Japan. You know,
yeah, definitely.
They use him very often. I remember when the U.S. government said that they were gonna stop the visas for a bit, and New Japan couldn't get their Japanese wrestlers out here, and they brought out pretty much an American card, right? And people were pissed, right? They're like, "Oh, we want to watch New Japan wrestlers, blah blah." And Rocky came out saying, "Like, dude, I am New Japan." Not his exact words, but pretty much saying, like, "Dude, I've been there for fucking ever." You know, like, how disrespectful. And he was right. You know, like, obviously, yeah, we want to see like Okada and Lij and shit like that, but still, the shows that they performed out here without those guys were still really good. Because I remember that shit.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I love too that not only Rocky Romero on the show, so is his Chico El Luchador persona is advertised.
Is he coming out in a mask?
I think so. I think.
No way.
That's the best part. Both Rocky Romero and Chico El Luchador are advertised for the show.
Oh, I'm excited.
D'Lo Brown's gonna be on it. That right there is awesome in my books. D'Lo Brown.
Okay, D'Lo Brown. Okay, that's pretty good.
Well, it's here. Chavo Guerrero, the Bennett, Rock and Roll Express, Swoggle.
Oh, okay. I see.
Long.
I got a list. I see where you're reading off of.
Yeah.
Chavo Guerrero. So let's talk about these guys. So Brian Myers, Obviously is I already forgot his WWE name.
Kurt Hawkins.
Kurt Hawkins, right?
Likewise, we got Heath Miller, who's just Heath now in Impact.
Yeah.
Heath Slater.
Charo Guerrero hasn't been doing anything other than doing the training for the Glow Girls.
Glow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alex Kozlov, he's an old school TNA wrestler, if I remember. I'm not 100% sure, but this guy looked amazing, and I remember being like, why did he not ever get a championship at that time?
Yeah, that's right. He had a really good look to him, and that's all I really remembered.
The Bennetts are here, so Mike and Maria, Robert Gibson, Ricky Morin,
David Penzer,
D'Lo Brown, Rhino, Willie Mack, super excited. Johnny Swinger, Swoggle, that's Hornswoggle, right?
Yeah.
Scott D'Amore, Teddy Long. So we're gonna get a lot of tag team matches, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, because he can't give issue 1-on-1 for matches with the Randy Orton. So
yeah. Mike Knox. That sounds familiar. Hold on, I gotta look this guy up. Mike Knox. It is him. That's the one with This is the guy that punted the baby, right? Or am I thinking of somebody else?
No, that's Nisky.
That's right.
And Mike Knox was he's part of Aces and Eights and the Menagerie in TNA as Nux. He was part of the ECW, the rebranded ECW.
That's right. I got those two confused, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Who else we got on that list?
Lodi Sick Boy and Big Reese from Ravens Flock.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. And then the rest of the names mentioned I don't recognize.
Yeah, I don't see that. I don't not recognize those either.
So yeah, that should be an interesting show.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. Can't wait for it to.
Yeah. Good. So yeah, back to the main event of Impact. I mean, yet again, it's another one of those matches where there's no doubt who the winner is going to be. This was meant to get the Good Brothers over, but Scum still looked like they could actually go in the ring and hang with them. So I think it accomplished that. And then we get the post. He hit the ring all the way back, brawl outside. And then the show goes off the air in the most unique way possible when Gallows kicks Fulton, I believe it was. Yeah, Gallows kicks Fulton. Fulton hits the camera gets knocked askew. Air like that. Gallows kicked Fulton so hard it knocked the show off the air.
I don't think I remember that at all.
One hell of a way to wrap up a show.
I mean, it's different, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I have a question. Do you know if Ben or Habes uploaded that questionnaire?
He did. When I last checked it, no one had asked anything.
Okay, so did he just do it on Facebook?
Yep.
Okay. Gotta do this sooner.
If he did it elsewhere, I didn't notice.
Yeah, I didn't know. I'm looking around right now. He didn't. I don't think he did it on. I think he just did it on the main page too.
Yeah, I think so.
Let me see. I'm checking. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Do you have anything else? I'm kind of done out here, man.
Yeah, I'm pretty good to go, but say it, but I'll plug it. Remember now, don't look for me on the Right About SmackDown on Fridays. I'm done with that. I probably won't even watch the show this week. I'll probably just read the reviews. But look for me every Tuesday night / early morning Wednesday, depending on when I can actually get access to the episodes, because it's not as easy to access Impact as I would like based on my work schedule. But I will be reviewing Impact from now. I think my mental health will be much better off for it.
I mean, if it depends on what you're covering, then yeah, I could see your mental health going up a lot.
Yeah, I mean, no more SmackDown alone. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm pretty intolerant. But yeah, as always, if you have listening to this and for some reason you haven't subscribed to us, go subscribe to the Kayfabe Seed Wrestling. We're on pretty much all the podcast platforms, as well as on YouTube, where you can watch the video. Go to Pro Wrestling Tees / Kayfabe Soup. Yeah, buy a T-shirt. Look for us on Patreon. Sign up for our bonus. Our you can prizes.
Yeah, honestly, you could just go to our Instagram, which is Kayfabe Soup. And I have the link tree on there. I have the link tree on Facebook. It shows all our links. It's very nice. It's a very nice little tool. Link tree is like one of the best things ever.
You should probably start pasting the link tree in the description for our podcast too.
Smart. That's actually really smart. I could do that. I could do that very well.
Cool.
All right, let's close this out, man. Yeah. No, go ahead. Go ahead, man.
Top God out.